This foundation completely took me by surprise. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Foundation. This is a medium coverage foundation. It says it gives a matte finish. It says it's for normal, dry, combination, or oily skin. So I guess if you've got skin, they say this foundation is for you. They claim it is lightweight and breathable. It comes in 50 shades and sells for $40 for 1 ounce, 30 mils. I picked it up at Ulta, but they also have it at Sephora. Normally when I'm buying foundation, I go for something light medium with a neutral undertone. I will say though, in this foundation, I ended up going with 40, which is their code for light medium. Cool, because I felt like this foundation was running really yellow, both in the neutral and the warm, and then with a pink undertone. Honestly, the olive undertone was kind of close. The pink was better. So this is not a foundation I would recommend you buy it online unless you've got an Urban Decay foundation that follows their numbering convention. This was really something I had to swatch and then let it oxidize. Having gone through all of that though, I do feel like I got a really good shade match for me. And with 50 shades, I hope that anybody who's interested in this foundation could find a good match. I've put my stats and my skin statistics up here. Let me tell you that I love testing foundations. I've got an engineering background and I absolutely love testing anything, but especially foundations. That's partly why I'm here. I invest my time and my money so that you don't have to waste yours. I try these foundations with no primer, with different primers, different powders, different application methods, all to help you decide whether it's something you want to try or not. Day 1, Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation up to 24-hour wear. We'll be doing fingers, no primer. At the store, I thought this was security packaging. No, it's the real packaging. I feel like it's collecting a little bit in my pores and accentuating them, which is not great. But, you know, no primer and fingers could be the reason for that. Well, I can't hate on this foundation too much. For day 1, no primer, it wore like crap. Let's just be really clear about that. It settled into the deepest line. It settled into these lines. It's patchy, it's worn off weird, it's accentuating pores, and I don't really have large pores. Having said that, I'm kind of excited to try it tomorrow with the primer. I did think it looked really pretty when I put it on first thing this morning, and I do think it gives really nice coverage. You know, I've got some zits and whatnot, so it's a really good test for how well does it cover. Maybe you deal with rosacea, age spots, something where you're looking for some coverage, but maybe like me, you don't want full coverage. Like, I still want it to look like my skin. So I got my fingers crossed for a better day tomorrow. The instructions online that come with the Stay Naked foundation only talk about what kind of brush to use to get what kind of coverage. Use a fluffier brush for lighter coverage, thicker brush for heavier coverage. It says nothing about do use primer, don't use primer. It does say that it is pore minimizing, which of course was not my experience yesterday. But I am using the, what am I using here? The Laura Geller Spackle Primer. It is moisturizing, and I have my go-to IT Cosmetics brushes for Ulta, the Airbrush 101. This is my favorite foundation brush. Let's see on all these sits over here, what kind of coverage we're gonna get with the brush. I feel like that's not great coverage, so I'm gonna give it a little more of a stippling action. When I look in the 10X mirror, I've got some brush lines over here, so I'm going to see if I can't blend those out. I like the finish. It's, you know, it's not super matte, but it's not dewy. I appreciate that. And I feel like, yes, at, you know, kind of normal person distance, it really has nicely covered that I was looking to cover. We're going to set today with the number 7 loose powder. Even though we are deep into the first week of October here in Seattle, we are having amazing weather. We are supposed to be in the mid and upper 70s for the next 10 days. It's crazy to me, but I am not complaining. Here is what this foundation looks like in the bright sunshine. And here it is under LED lighting in my kitchen. Not surprisingly, today this foundation has worn so much better with primer. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that would be the case. I think it does give really nice medium coverage. When I look in the dreaded 10X, it's settled a little bit into lines and wrinkles, but not terribly so, right? And I haven't come across a foundation yet that doesn't do that. And you can see some areas where it's worn off, but I'm a habitual toucher of my chin, and I know I blew my nose at least a couple times today. We've got that forest fire smoke out there, so I think that's the accounts for the nose and the chin. I'll be curious tomorrow. I'm debating whether I'd try a more dense brush to try to get more full coverage out of this, or go with a beauty blender. We'll just have to see. This foundation says it's supposed to be good for minimizing pores. That's not really an issue I think I have. And the last couple of days, it has been accentuating pores. So today, I'm gonna try the e.l.f. Putty Primer. Let's see if that helps. Also today, I'm using a sponge. This is that normal sponge that then has a layer of silicone on the outside so it doesn't absorb product, and I find it gives me a little more coverage than a regular beauty blender. All right, so there's one pass. And looking in the 10X mirror, I really like how this is going on with the sponge. You know, this sponge is really fantastic. I did 2 pumps, which is what I've used for the last 2 days, but look at how much I have left, and I've already done, you know, a really complete job. There are a few areas that I'd like to build up a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe the coverage I've got and how much I've got left. I think I really could have done my full face with 1 pump. This is a 9-hour check-in on this foundation. I don't think that e.l.f. Putty Primer did this foundation any good. I mean, although, well, can I say that really? It didn't accentuate pores today. So in that respect, it did help it. But I got this dry patch down here. That wasn't great. I think a moisturizing primer would have been better. And what? It just wore off my chin, wore off my nose like it did the first day. I'm just trying to think. I probably did a lot of this today. So chin, that's probably on me. But nose, no, I did not. I was not rubbing my nose today. So I have a few days until I need to edit this and get it posted. So I'm gonna keep trying this foundation just on my own. And I'll put another comment in here before I'm all done with it to let you know how it's going. I like this foundation. I like the coverage I get from it. I like the look that it gives me. You know, I think it does a good job of evening out skin tone. And while it doesn't completely cover over stuff, it does make zits and whatnot less obvious. So like I said, I want to give it a few days on my own, just playing with it, and I'll let you know how it goes. I have been using this foundation for 6 days past when I stopped shooting with it. So I feel like I have a really good grasp for the foundation, how I like to use it, and how it wears. What I have found on my skin, it does best when I use a moisturizing primer. These are some of the primers that have worked really well for me. Always looked good from here up. This is the area where I always have problems with foundations if I'm going to have a problem with a foundation. This foundation was no exception. So this is where if I used a moisturizing foundation, it really helped out. I think this is such a pretty looking foundation. I especially would notice in the afternoons, you know, catch myself walking past a mirror and going, wow, my skin looks really good. I really like the medium coverage. It does let imperfections show through a little bit. As you know from the testing, I've been fighting with all these zits, and I think I've finally gotten my skin to calm down. I have no idea what caused this breakout. It's been going on for like 6 weeks, and just knock on wood that I have finally got it under control. One pet peeve I have about this foundation is this packaging, this funky cutout. I thought in the store it was like a security package on it, but no, it's the way the bottle is, and I am just too much of a type A control freak, but the foundation performs so well. I think it's a great everyday foundation that I'm willing to overlook that. Like I said, I've been using this the last 6 days, and honestly, I look forward to grabbing this foundation, which for me is another big sign that yes, this is a foundation that has worked well for me. If you're enjoying this video, you'll probably also like my review of this foundation or my playlist of all the foundation reviews I've ever done.